Hey, everyone out there, Cody here. Today I'd like to mention a very underrated flick called 2 Days in the Valley, currently shown on Pluto TV. And it starts off with where we meet these two guys, Lee and Dosmo, and they've been hired to do a job where they're supposed to break into this house and deal with this guy named Rick. And Dosmo's under the impression that this Rick guy has like a gambling debt, and so they're there to sell that to maybe have him pay up or something like that. But then Lee had, uh, comes face to face with Rick, and Dosmo realizes that he's left out of the loop on something because Lee not alive as Rick for other reasons that Dosmo's not completely not aware of. And then Lee tries to not alive Dosmo and make like Dosmo not alive Rick over like a deal gone bad. And but Dosmo is still alive, and now Dosmo has to hunker down at this jerk rich guy's house and the secretary, and he's thinking that once he realizes I'm alive, he's going to come after me and look for me. So he tries to get out of there, but now he's stuck there. So other people start showing up in that house, so things get complicating. And then and then there's another story about this guy named Teddy Peppers, who was once this director slash writer, claimed had really had his time, but now he's on hard times, and he's at the point where he's trying to consider not living himself because all he has in his life is his dog. And then he meets this nurse, and he tries to give this dog, and he says, "Please take my dog. I he makes up this story like how he has to leave the country and he needs someone to take his dog. And it turns out that the nurse's brother is the rich guy who is the rich guy is the rich guy who owns the house that Dawson was hunkered down in. So those stories come together, and then we meet these two cops out, and one of which is Alvin, the other one is his partner, played by Eric Stoltz, and they're investigating what happened with Rick at that house. And Alvin's this angry guy who's angry, gets the best of him, so he lives alone, and his job is hanging on by a thread. Everything's hanging on by a thread because he's just got this horrible anger problem. And his partner is trying hard to understand what's going on with the Rick situation. He just won't let it go. And then also, and it's just one of those stories where three different stories are happening, but they all come together so well. I was equally invested in all of them, all the stories. And then we also meet Charlize Theron. This is one of her very first roles.